call it that.
Yeah.
That was a star of prom, little pop.
Star of prom.
Bit of acid reflux in that puppy.
So, Naima, Neymar.
It's not Neymar.
No one knows how to say it.
Let's have a bit of consistency.
So,
Naima.
Neymar.
So, Naima.
Yeah.
Probably the closest to a ballad that we've got on the album.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece. Yeah.
It's not quite a ballad, but it's kind of like a ballad. So this one was a bit strange because, well, I'll let you tell us, Ruben, why this one was a bit out of the ordinary.
Yeah, well, I guess the unspoken kind of truth of projects like this is you have so many pieces to get through, and each one have their different challenges. And this project especially was no different because we had so many different people coming in and out of the studio.
Yeah.
And we were on such like a tight time schedule as well. So this piece was scheduled for the second day, and it was a particularly important one for your dad because it was the one piece in his library that you hadn't recorded yet, but he really wanted to get down. And it featured for you as well, which I know was quite meaningful to him. So we were on the second day, and it was one of those moments where when it came to mixing it, we'd been so up against it with time that I think we were listening to it back, and we were so happy with the way the rest of the record had shaped up. And there was just a couple of sections in this that were like a little amiss that we felt like we could have done better if we could have had like an extra 20 minutes or something.
I felt like we rushed it a bit on the day because we were a song behind or a track behind from the previous day.
Yeah.
And it felt like let's just get it done, and it was.
Yeah, it felt like a wasted opportunity because it is such a nice arrangement, and especially one that had so much meaning behind it. So we threw around some ideas. I seem to remember Mr. Ellis and Al were both down for that mixing day.
Yeah.
And we ended up kind of going off for a coffee, and we'd listened back to it and had a chat, and we all decided unanimously that it should be on the album. Like we didn't want to leave it off, but also we didn't really want to sacrifice the quality that we'd got throughout the rest of the thing. So in the end, we decided it was it was unfortunate, and it was a shame that we couldn't feature Mark White on the record because he'd had the hernia.
Yeah, that is a real shame.
Yeah, and Pete Beachell, he'd done some lovely solo work, but I don't think he'd done anything in the section.
Yeah.
So we kind of realised we could actually go back when we had some of the percussion overdubs for Mandeville. We could repair some of those little bits that weren't quite right and feature those players.
Yeah.
So
get them back on it.
Yeah, so that's what we ended up doing. So, I mean, it was like a real jigsaw. So we ended up using the rhythm takes were from British Grove, what we recorded.
The original take.
Yeah, and then some of the other bits we did remotely, which, like we said before, is been one of the positives that's come out of that lockdown period, that people are able to do that now. So, Tom's got a fantastic remote setup, and Mark White came to your house.
Yeah.
And
cool.
he came over, yeah.
You had a day, didn't you? And he did a couple of overdubs and a couple of repairs on that piece. And and Pete Beachell came to my house, and we recorded Pete.
Cool.
And we pieced that together. And I mean, I'm really pleased with. That's actually one of those ones that I'm delighted with how that came out. I always go back to it and listen to it, and I'm just so glad that we were able to realize it as it was as intended, as opposed to leave it off, which was the alternative, which I think would have been a real shame.
Yeah, it's a great arrangement of a well-known jazz tune, I suppose.
Yeah,
it is really nice, and it's got that kind of Latin kind of element to it that we maybe wanted to keep on the album. But just great that what could have been not a disaster but a real shame, you managed to turn it around and use that to get Mark back in and Pete back in, and which I think is a real nice touch, because it would have been a shame to not have them more on the album.
Yeah, I think that was part of the. I mean, I remember when we were getting the album together, there was lots of different motivations, and I think there was a big one, which was we wanted it to be unlike any recording we'd done before. We wanted it to be of a certain quality. We wanted it to be really, you know, like to showcase all the amazing music that happens in Doncaster. But also we wanted it to be a gift to, you know, Mr. Ellis for everything that he's given to everyone that's come through the association. And I think being able to keep that piece on that was so meaningful to him, as well as feature those alumni who are so integral to the history of the association. Yeah, it felt like the right thing to do.
Well said. Well said. So that's Naima. Let's move on.